230 million years ago, the Earth was unrecognizable. A single vast continent, Pangaea, stretched from pole to pole, surrounded by a global ocean. The air was hot, the seasons extreme, and life clung to survival in this challenging world. Yet, in this crucible of change, a new dynasty was about to rise. This is the dawn of the dinosaurs. The Triassic Period was a time of recovery. Just 20 million years earlier, Earth had suffered the worst mass extinction in its history. Over 90% of all species had vanished. Forests withered, seas emptied, but life was persistent. Slowly, new ecosystems began to form. The land was dominated by conifer forests, hardy ferns, and stretches of barren desert. The skies were alive with early pterosaurs, some of the first vertebrates to master flight. And across the land, reptiles began to diversify, experimenting with new shapes, new strategies, and new opportunities. Among the rising stars of this new world were the archosaurs, a group of reptiles destined to dominate both land and sky. Archosaurs would split into two great branches: the crocodile line, including formidable predators like the rauisuchians, and the bird line, which would give rise to the first dinosaurs. But in the Triassic, their paths crossed in a brutal contest for dominance. Rauisuchians, towering up to 6 meters long, walked with pillar-like legs beneath their bodies, unlike the sprawling reptiles before them. They were apex predators, hunting with speed and power. Against such giants, the earliest dinosaurs were small, fragile, and seemingly insignificant. Yet evolution favored more than brute strength. It favored adaptability. From the southern lands of what is now South America emerged some of the first true dinosaurs. Among them, Herrerasaurus, a swift carnivore nearly 3 meters long. With blade-like teeth and grasping hands, it was a predator built for agility rather than size. Close by, another dinosaur thrived, Coelophysis. Slender, lightweight, and fast, it hunted in groups, an innovation that gave it an edge against larger foes. These pioneers were not kings of their world, not yet. But they carried within them the potential for a dynasty that would last 160 million years. Yet for every early dinosaur, there was a greater threat waiting. The land still belonged to Postosuchus, a giant rauisuchian. With its massive skull, crushing jaws, and crocodile-like armor, Postosuchus was a nightmare for anything smaller than itself. Unlike most reptiles of its time, it could even rise up on 2 legs, charging its prey with terrifying speed. For young Herrerasaurus or Coelophysis, Postosuchus was death incarnate. But survival was not about strength alone. The key was to endure, to adapt, to outlast. The Triassic was not only the stage for predators. Strange and diverse creatures filled its landscapes. Herds of dicynodonts, tusked herbivores descended from mammal ancestors, grazed in the open plains. Aetosaurs, armored reptiles resembling walking tanks, rooted through soil with pig-like snouts. Gigantic amphibians lingered in the rivers and swamps, relics of an older age. Even insects grew to impressive sizes, buzzing through the hot air in clouds. The Triassic was a living laboratory of evolution, each creature testing a different path forward. Every day was a test. Dinosaurs like Coelophysis learned to hunt together, darting in coordinated bursts. Herrerasaurus sharpened its role as a solitary hunter, swift and lethal. Rauisuchians ruled by brute force, their reign absolute but short-lived. In this unforgiving world, the smallest misstep could mean extinction. But those who adapted gained a precious foothold, one that would echo through deep time. As the Triassic advanced, Earth's climate shifted. Deserts expanded, rivers dried, and volcanic eruptions darkened the skies. Species that could not cope vanished forever. The rauisuchians, once lords of the land, began to decline. Meanwhile, dinosaurs, small, fast, opportunistic, seized the gaps left behind. Evolution had chosen its survivors. What began as fragile experiments was becoming a dynasty. By the end of the Triassic, dinosaurs had spread far beyond their origins. Coelophysis swarmed across ancient floodplains in vast numbers. Herrerasaurus and its kin continued to sharpen the predatory craft. New herbivores, like early sauropodomorphs, tested the path of giant plant eaters. The stage was set for a new era, the Jurassic, when dinosaurs would rise to unchallenged supremacy. The Triassic was an age of pioneers. Rauisuchians, aetosaurs, dicynodonts, amphibians, all vital players in Earth's recovery after catastrophe. Yet, from among them, one lineage endured and flourished like no other: the dinosaurs. Their humble beginnings in the Triassic remind us that greatness often starts small. Fragile creatures struggling in the shadows of giants. But from those shadows, a dynasty emerged that would dominate the Earth for more than 150 million years. And it all began here in the dawn of dinosaurs.